other candidates, they don't want that to happen. They don't want Donald Trump to emerge once again as the topic of discussion. They just want him to go away. There's a real concern that this case is going to prove really problematic for one simple reason. Donald Trump is being investigated for a number of crimes. Some are extremely serious, such as in Fulton County, Georgia, where he's being looked at as possibly trying to uh, overturn a legal election. That's pretty fundamental. That is a very serious crime. This could be charged as a misdemeanor. It doesn't fall on the radar of most Americans that 7 years ago he paid $130,000 to a porn star as hush money. So it's not just the fellow Republicans. There are some people on the Democratic side who believe this probably is not the best case to start when it comes to, for the first time in history, arresting a former president for a felony.
Just explain the legal side of this. Why are prosecutors looking at him?
Well, it's an interesting question. There was a previous prosecutor in Manhattan looked at it and decided not to go forward. A new prosecutor looked at it for a year, and only a year after that did he start to reinvest effort into a grand jury. So this is essentially a case as to whether or not he lied on a financial form where he said the $130,000 payment in hush money to porn star Stormy Daniels was a legal fee. Well, it wasn't. And perhaps that also violated New York state election law as sort of an illegal campaign contribution. But again, that could be very tough, a tough case to adjudicate, to get a conviction. But more importantly, again, this is the first time in the history of the country, potentially, that you will arrest a former president. If you're going to do that, as you know, a lot of people believe, it's got to be for a very significant crime, and paying off a porn star so that she doesn't talk about having sex with you, so it doesn't hurt him in an election. That just doesn't meet the standard that I think a lot of people were expecting.
I know that Mike Pence, his former vice president, has been speaking out about that overnight, just basically saying that it's quite a worrying situation to arrest a former president on that basis. Have we heard anything from Stormy Daniels at all?
And not to our knowledge, she has cooperated in the investigation. And of course, Michael Cohen has admitted that former President Trump's attorney has admitted this all went down. And Donald Trump is not denying he spent $130,000, although he is denying that it was hush money. But in any case, you can see Republicans are lining up, including critics of Donald Trump, because they know that this is not going to uh, this is going to be not thought of well within the Republican Party, even amongst those people who want us to get past Donald Trump. And that's the other point, is that once again, this potential indictment could elevate him to over the fold Donald Trump, capital letters. He's taken all the oxygen out of the room again. He becomes, Elon Musk tweeted out, he'd win in a landslide if he's indicted. And the other candidates, they don't want that to happen. They don't want Donald Trump to emerge once again as the topic of discussion. They just want him to go away.
So, very plainly, how does this affect his chances of becoming the next Republican nominee for the White House again next year? And can he, if he gets to that position, can he still go for president?
Well, we think it would help him once again, because Donald Trump has never said that any of these investigations are that he will fight them vigorously in court, that the charges are have no merit. He says that the people pursuing these cases are evil, and it's not about the law; it's about silencing Donald Trump and his followers. And so that message resonates with about 30 to 40% of the Republican Party base, and it sort of resonates with plenty of other people who might be interested in looking somewhere else for a candidate. And so, there's a debate that it would hurt him, but frankly, I don't think it's going to. I don't think people that support Donald Trump or support Republican candidates generally are going to be won over by
Mm.
an indictment from a Manhattan DA over a Stormy Daniels hush money payment.
But if he's successfully prosecuted, does that then harm his chances?
It does, but again, though, that gives him
He can still go for it,
another.
though.
He sure
He can
can.
still
Yes,
go
he
for
can.
president. This won't stop
Right,
him.
and he's already said that. He says, if I'm indicted, I will continue to campaign. There's nothing that keeps him from running. The only thing that would keep him from running and winning is if he was prosecuted and sent to jail. That's not going to happen.
No.
Certainly not before the election.